Test, test, one, two, three. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope that you guys are all having a good start to the morning. Today is the natural gas report. One of my favorite days when it comes down to trading. Haven't really partaken in natural gas or just DGAS and EGAS for a little bit. I'm actively trading it right now. I saw this downward pattern as if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit, right? Well, you guys all should be part of Learn Plan Profit. I've been keeping you guys very, very short updates on what's pushing up, what's pushing down. The more that natural gas sells off, the more that we see DGAS push up. And that's exactly what we have going on right now. So altogether on the day so far, I'm up a little bit under 1500. A majority of that has to do with my DWT trade. Again, we called out the sell-off, as you guys can see right here, /CL pulling back, DWT on the rise, which just pretty much gave you a better understanding of the direction of where crude oil was going, right? There's no question that, there's a really strong push up, but overall it's been a descending pattern. Be very weary of a potential change of direction. The pattern that I saw was when it pushed up, began to pull back, I apologize, and then ultimately broke below the EMA line. That's when I updated all of you, and then it aggressively sold off. Made $1,200 on that, so it was a really nice change. And now we're moving on over to ticker symbol or DGAS is what I'm paying attention to right now. Trying to see if we can make some lower lows or if it's going to find a support here. So it looks like it definitely is trying to find a support, as you guys can see here. So I'm going to move. Why can't I see both? I want to see your guys' messages too. There it goes. DGAS above 12. And I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm just going to lock in profits, right? So I'm going to put my order ready to sell. So I'm going to click order, 100% of my position. Here it goes. So we can see that it's definitely on the rise as natural gas begins to really take a push down, to say the least. Ooh, wow, this one's really pushing. So I'm just going to go right there with a limit order, see if I can get filled. And sold. Why is my volume not on? Sold at 112.35. And it's still pushing up, so that's cool. Made $597 on that trade. Altogether on the day, I'm up 1,800. I do want to let you guys know that this position for BILZF, I've been holding for the past 3 days. You guys can see my overall P&L on the open, just like I made a video explaining. What I plan on doing is people were getting bothered by me having, and this is just because I'm a YouTuber, I guess, as well. People were literally just complaining about, well, you're not really up because you're down on BILZF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a separate TD Ameritrade account, transfer that position over to that account to try to please everyone. It's annoying hearing people just complain all the time. I do apologize to you guys having to hear me about that. But I kept it very simple on this one. I want to explain exactly what I saw value, and I don't think it's really much of a question, right? Overall, I have a big focus on direction. Natural gas was making lower lows and lower highs. Natural gas began to push up, became overbought. Look at the MAC. Whoa. I apologize, headphone users. Natural gas became overbought, oversold, overextended, and then it began to indicate signs of a sell-off. Right as it touched EMA, I'll show you guys right here. Right as it touched the EMA line, you guys could see that if I click here and click show trades, this is where my first entry was at, right around that EMA line. And then going back to natural gas, we could see that it continued to sell off, following through with its direction, giving me a better understanding of what's going up, what's going down, right? So as this thing continues to sell off, then I just simply added more to my position on ticker symbol DGAS. That's it. I locked in profits when I saw it to become overbought and overextended. And then, I didn't make a ton. If you guys can see, I had 600 shares, which, if I'm not mistaken, amounts to like $66,000. Excuse me. But I was in with about 60% of what I normally trade with. I haven't, and I'm okay with sharing this. As you guys can tell, the past 3 weeks after I came back from my trip of Hawaii, I already know what you guys are going to say about that. Thank you. But after my trip coming back from Hawaii, I have not been doing well. And there's been jokes, right? Because now I have a girlfriend, that's part of it. Trust me, if anything, now I'm more focused. I put all the blame on why I haven't been doing well on myself. Yeah, the market's been more choppy, the market's been more inconsistent, but that's the whole point of being a day trader, right? It's you're being challenged every single day, and I've been striking out as I step up to the plate. Not every single day, but pretty often. And it sucks. Today I'm doing well. Yesterday I lost $1,200. The day before I made 1,100. It's just been kind of back and forth, right? And I'm okay with sharing it because I know that it's part of the game. But trust me, I can 100% remember. I was thinking about making a video about this because it's just I remember being in a position when I like not first started trading, but when I was kind of going back and forth of like making a profit and then losing, kind of like that break even period. And these past 2 weeks reminded me of like because of the choppy market and because of my performance of how that was and how that felt. Um, I just didn't think that it would be of value for people, so I just started recapping my losses and talking about something else on top of that. Um, but last time you went on vacation, you made 1,100. Yeah, it was a little bit under 1,100. I think it was like 10,000. But yeah, no, I get the point. Um, it's 100% like I just haven't been working well with the market. I've been um, I felt like I was like cutting losses more effectively the past couple of days, but because of that, and there's such a consistent change of direction, I just yeah I how do I put this? Because I've been cutting losses so quickly, but I enter positions so frequently, my losses begin to stack up. Do you get what I mean? So one of the things that I was kind of waiting on this morning because of my experience yesterday was, how important it is to wait for that full confirmation and have that full understanding of direction and to be very weary, right? Keep my losses very short when a potential change of direction is going to happen. So last time he went on vacation, he met me. What's going on, Pascal? What's up? What's up? Uh, if you had $5,000 to trade with, how much would your total account value would you put in each trade position? So Kyle, and this is just, and again, in no way do I mean this to be like offensive. You simply asking that question lets me know that you just are not ready to trade with the full $5,000. If you're like asking that question, you haven't tested the market enough to understand how it slaps you back into place. Because although it can be good when you're working well with it, it can also be like, especially when you're first getting started. I just want to remind you, Kyle, that it's really cool that you have $5,000. Majority of people don't. With that being said, it's not a make it or break it. It's ask yourself, do you really think 10 years from now, if you continue to build yourself as a trader, you're going to be trading with only $5,000? Heck no. So although $5,000 is what you have to put up to the plate right now, do not discourage yourself. I would trade with $1,000. I would trade with $500, whatever it is. So if you do lose 5%, it does not devastate you. That's the way that I wish I would have started. So if you lose 10, 20%, it sucks, but guess what? You can replenish that and it's still just about learning. That's how I would approach it if I were you. So I hope, yeah, but commissions though, 100%. I mean, depending on what platform you're using, you might have commissions. If you do have commissions, then you can simply try to negotiate them. But again, at the end of the day, commissions are part of the game. That doesn't defeat the purpose of just because you have to pay for commissions, then I'm going to trade with 4 or 5 times the trading account. It doesn't matter. It's just like, even if you are breaking even at like after commissions, I would rather have you do that and trade with a smaller dollar amount than approach it in a very aggressive way. And you guys know that I'm always going to try to encourage you guys to paper trade when you're first getting started, but I know a lot of you guys just aren't for it, and I get that. I respect that. I don't know why it's not showing this, Randy, but it says, Ricky, quick question. What do you think about calls and puts? I've seen a ton of people making huge amounts of money on them. So you're talking about like options, right? And this is just like I don't trade them, and in my experience, yeah, they do come with a higher form of reward, but they also do come at a higher form of risk. We've had a lot of people that when they're first getting started, yeah, they do have a couple of successful, positions when it comes down to like their option positions and stuff like that. But I would say that if you don't know how to manage your position size, and you're still becoming more familiar with that, you can completely lose your account, and drain your account. So it's just really up to you and your understanding and your approach. I would say that every niche is worth trying out and to see which one you resonate the best with. So I like that, Brendan. Super happy to hear that. People blow their account with options. Yeah. Um, Someone that I would trust, so Randy, feel free to connect with Pascal. Pascal is someone that's been part of Learn Plan Profit. And then honestly, like, Pascal doesn't need to be part of Learn Plan Profit. He's been someone that's been trading for. I actually met up with him in Germany when I was over there. Extremely nice guy, very well versed with what he does, and I think Pascal can openly talk about the pros and the cons of, you know, options, especially if he trades them. I think with that being said, like he's not gonna benefit by you trading options or not, so he can be very open about the risk, and the advantages of trading options. So, if Pascal, if you're open to it, thank you. Write me on Discord. So if you want to note down his what's it called, his username, feel free to check it out. What was the first supercar you sold for a profit? The McLaren MP4 12C. That's the first actual supercar. Like the GTR and the R8, I don't think those would be viewed as supercars, right? But the McLaren, yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. Of course. When is the next giveaway? Oh, uh, when is it? On the 30th? On Monday. The next giveaway is on Monday. I haven't been talking about it much because we're going to talk about it, I think, actually starting today or starting tomorrow. But for you that are already part of Learn Plan Profit, all I really think is you have to just invite one person to join us for the live trading session, and that's it. And we're going to be giving away $1,000. So, hope, yeah, for those that don't know about it, now you know. Sweet. Any updates with the HOA? No, but I bought the remaining amount of plants that I need to plant. So right after this live stream, I'm going to be planting some plants outside. I planted one last night. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would have seen it. I spent what, $250 in plants yesterday. When's a Halloween party that Jason? Here it goes. Overall, crude oil still following through with its downward pattern. The Halloween party and giveaway. So what that would be is that's gonna be for next month, and it's gonna be during our Halloween party that we're gonna be throwing at my house. That's gonna be with my close friends and some social media influencers that I know. So it's gonna be about 100 to 150 people here at my house. We'll have like the DJs and stuff like that. We would hope that whoever comes is of age 21 and over. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I'm gonna be getting one person that's part of Learn Plan Profit and one part of Flipping Wheels, and then we can go from there. So yeah, you guys crack me up. How it's like I could give away $1,000, but you're like, nah, I'd rather just go to your party. Uh, yeah, I mean, I take it as a compliment. I appreciate it. So I think it would be cool, not just for the party part, but like, for you guys to actually meet the team and who I spend all my time with. I think you guys will be able to see like why it's always such a fun time here at the TechBuds house. HOA party fines. Yeah. Hey, at least we have to make the fines worth it, right? So Of course. Thank you, Gerard. Let's check it out. We have natural gas consolidating a lot right now. So I have natural gas on my second screen over here. So watching out for that. Let's see. Okay, I definitely do see this as in it's trying to find a support here, right? So I'm just going to set my alert. It's still not showing signs of an uptrend. I think that we can all agree on that. It's still kind of just consolidating. It's trying to build a support here, and it's trying to, well, it has in a sense of resistance here. So I want to see this thing to begin to make higher highs and higher lows. And you're right, it does have a nice little margin, but just because it has a margin doesn't mean that it has to fulfill it, right? So let's go ahead and set our alerts. We can follow up with it. And once the direction is more clear, again, just because it breaks above this doesn't mean you have to get in. You can wait for the push up, the pullback, the push up, and wait for it to truly identify its direction. And if it does, then guess what? It has a lot of margin to fulfill. So don't be so quick to jump in, especially when there's a lot of uncertainty. So you still holding BILFN? Yes, I shared that I was holding it. So I'm down right now about $48 on the day and about 1,000, still about the same amount. But yeah, so I heard you're getting into the landscaping business. Okay. Trying to. Weston helped me out with digging that hole yesterday, so. Here we go. We're getting some form of support here, right? What's your thoughts on gold? Let's see. Big picture. What do you guys see here? So we still have 14 minutes left until the natural gas report. What do we see here? It was showing signs of an aggressive uptrend, and then what do we see now? What with the SMA line? What are we seeing with the pattern? What are we seeing? Not what's going to happen. No one ever really knows what's going to happen, right? But what pattern and what makes sense of what's going on right now? Come on, if you're tuning in right now, there's no right or wrong answer. I want to get your guys' input. So break of pattern, lower highs below SMA, /CL with a push. Okay, so lower highs below SMA, consolidation, sell off to consolidation, consolidation, possible reversal, lower highs, consolidation, reverse fell under the SMA line, consolidation, potential reversal, consolidation. I mean, you guys are right, testing the bottom 100%. You guys can see that based off of previous patterns. All right, Gush is now moving. It just broke above my first alert, so a little heads up on that. But one of the things that we noticed here is that it was showing signs of an uptrend. After it peaked out, it's been consolidating and not really been making higher highs anymore. Ever since then, because it consolidated for so long, the SMA line began to curl down. Now, this is usually what happens, not always what happens, but if it does begin to consolidate and it breaks below the SMA line like we're seeing here, we will most likely see this thing break its support and actually begin to correct itself. That is, again, if based off previous patterns, if it actually ends up reversing. One of the things that I want to remind you is the market hasn't been very bullish. Therefore, if there's more news that continues to drive the market down, then again, technicals can only do so much when fundamentals come into play. And that means that then we will see gold continue to push up. So although I think that it's best to be aware about both sides. It's best to be aware that, hey, gold is not a good deal right now because of how overbought it is. But we also have to understand that, hey, with all the up and coming news and news that has been shared, that plays and has more weight than technicals, because if news continues to play against our overall market, then gold will continue to push up. So I think that it's ideal to at least be aware of both factors, both technical and fundamentals, and having just a more general understanding of, 100% this thing can begin to pull back, but also don't be surprised if it does push up when there's certain news that comes out. So when you set your alerts, what are I've gotten asked that question more often recently than before. And I was actually thinking about it yesterday, of how to properly answer that. I've said it before, where I would only set alerts where it's significant to you, right? Where if there's a potential break of pattern and you want to be updated on that, and then set your alert. There's no right or wrong place or time to set your alerts. It really comes down to, you know, wherever you like want to be reminded if something is going up or if something is going down. It's that simple. So if I want to watch gold and I want to know if it breaks its support, then I'll set my alert when it breaks below, you know, that 1500 support. If I want to see if this thing begins to make higher highs, then I'll set my alert there to ensure that, hey, I'm alerted when it's up and moving, just so I can be reminded. These are just reminders. Yeah, set your alerts to fit your criteria. So whatever it is that you are watching, whatever is significant to you, just if you want to be alerted when it goes above or below certain price points, then again, that's when I do it. So let's see. So Chris, I think you're asking. Let's see. So I told you that I would keep you guys up to date, or I'll be posting updates as they come. There's not an update that I have for you when it comes down to that, but I appreciate you asking. How much do you? Yeah, I don't have the average for you. It really comes down to the amount of trades that I take. So, as of right now, I have a total of 6 orders, which means that with those 6 orders, I've paid $3 per order. So, that's where I'm at right now. Sometimes I have 11 orders. Sometimes I'll have 50, right? Really depends on, every day is different. There's not like, you know, sometimes I don't trade at all, and sometimes I definitely overtrade. So, but I don't know how that's too significant. All right. We got 9 minutes left until the report. Here's gold, crude oil with a nice little push up, right? Have you ever looked into trading Forex before? I've never been interested in it, but of course I've heard about it and I have friends that do it. There's too many people and like too many people asking me to trade Forex that it rubbed me the wrong way. With the iMarkets Live people and people that don't actually trade Forex, that just try to sell you on joining yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. Regardless, you know, if you see value in it and it works with your schedule and whatever, you know, you guys know that I'm here to empower you to do whatever you want to do. Just do me a favor, if you're gonna learn about something, then actually learn how that market works, not how to get people and recruit people to recruit other people. Do you know what I mean? I personally think I work well with the stock market normally, right? And yeah, so agree. I like that car that you have. What is that? An Infinity? I think I could say an Infinity G35, right? MLM. Yeah. It's funny, right? But yeah. Agreed. There was actually what's it called? A group here in Phoenix of of iMarket Live's people, and they continued to message me as my following got a little bit bigger, because I think they saw me as like a big to have access to a big pool of people that I can recruit. So they kept trying to recruit me to like their little Forex thing or iMarkets Live, and I got really irritated. And one person said something about like that he either makes more than me, and then it was so dumb. But I challenged all of them that like I was already trading live and stuff like that, so I was just like that I would, you know, let's have like a little trade off, right? Like we'll both have, you know, whatever the dollar amount that we have, and we'll see who could consistently do more. But they don't actually trade. Like I don't think any of them actually trade either real money or trade at all. So not much was said after that, but yeah. No, it wasn't that, and it's not even that like, you know, I thought I was like I don't necessarily think I'm better than anyone, um, but I just think yeah, it became very frustrating with the annoying messages I was getting. I don't know about that. I've been hearing a lot of weird stuff. I think, yeah, it's beyond me. Maybe I'm just a little skeptical, right? Just because of how it was pushed before. Yeah, I've never focused. I've heard good and bad things about Beyond Meat, and a majority of it has to do with it being pumped with like fake news. So I don't know how certain that is, but it looks like all the movement was really done during pre-market hours, and then now since then, for those that didn't hold, right, now it's trading between the middle and bottom view up and selling off. So not looking very promising as of right now. So 4 minutes left. Oh wow, okay. I had no idea. Okay. What's going on, Andrew? There it goes. Crude oil with that sell off. So again, it peaked out and then beginning to sell off once again. Let's see. All right, now we have natural gas beginning to show signs of a resistance. Do you guys see that? Showing signs of a resistance, grabbing that EMA line. Normally, I would be like, okay, hey, I'll get in and then ride this down. But we're so close to the report, and based off of the previous support and the margin I probably have, it's probably not too much. So because of that, wouldn't feel too comfortable. So just a little reminder for all those that do not want to hold, even crude oil can be influenced by the natural gas report from time to time. So again, if you do not want to be influenced by the movement of the natural gas report, then it would make sense on why you should close out your position on any crude oil or natural gas ETF or ETN. And there goes natural gas beginning to pull back just like we expected after it peaked out. So really cool to be able to see. There goes crude oil. Sheesh. Oh, crude oil just broke below the 55.80 once again. And that DWT is on the rise. All right. So let's go ahead and do a very quick little breakdown on natural gas. How has it been performing? Right? So ever since its peak, it's still been selling off, right? So based off of last week's performance, I would almost say that, hey, it would make sense on why this thing can continue to sell off. So I think it would then be in favor of D-gas and not of natural gas and U-gas because of how it's been performing. But again, its performance doesn't always have to do with its actual fundamentals. It could just be dealing with technicals and correcting itself. But even based off of last week's performance, it went in favor of D-gas, and it was selling off at that time as well. So as of right now, we haven't really been making lower lows, so it's kind of been consolidating. But I would still say that it would make sense because it overall, since last week, it has been continuing to sell off, how, it would make sense if it was in favor of D-gas. So 100%. Yeah, I would not gamble or hold hoping that it goes up for D-gas or anything like that. And that's why all of my positions are closed right now that have to do with, day trading the future. D-gas just broke above its resistance. There goes natural gas already selling off, and we got 20 seconds left. We got now 15 seconds left. There it goes. D-gas is on the rise, so now pushing 113. Let's see what happens here, team. We got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sheesh. So we were right? Pretty crazy push. That's actually really, oh wow, look at that. Boy, should we have hell, huh? 5%. That's a strong push. Hit all the way up to 120. Crazy push. Look at that. Jesus. That's a really nice one. Let's see if crude oil at all got influenced by that. No, not really, right? So, degas, they're beginning to show signs somewhat of a potential pullback, but again, it's so bullish as well that I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to push up. But okay, how do you guys feel about this report? Where is Wes? Probably sleeping. But had a feeling this would happen. Like, again, you never really know, but based off of the overall direction of natural gas and its performance for the past week, I don't think it was much of a surprise, right? So uh, I'm in a swing trade and I'm short in a swing trade in natural gas. Okay, I was like, Pascal, you're on a swing trade for natural gas? Okay, that's short. I like that. All right. Well, Diaz is still pushing up. All right. So, will Diaz continue to push up or will it correct itself? One of the things that I do want to remind you before I get off is, Diaz was bullish before this report, right? Therefore, if it does correct itself, it will most likely continue to become bullish, right? So I just want you to have a focus on directions. Um, I've been bitten in the butt many times where I tried to like find the bottom of UGAS, which is the inverse, right, and the peak of DGAS, and then hope that it just corrects itself. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Again, just don't put yourself in a bad position. Set your alerts, take action when the action is happening, and don't be afraid to lock in profits. Of course, if you go with the one that's actively uptrending, you have the overall direction to be in your favor. If you begin to trade the one with the inverse, ETN or ETF, it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that you can't make money. It just means that the overall direction is definitely not in your favor. So, Ricky, I hate to be annoying. I know that you've been dealing with HOA, but I just wanted to. Oh shoot. I like that, Jason. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been and I stopped by. This week has been. It's not something that I've openly been talking about, but this week has been so expensive for me because of the series of like the AC went out at my other rental property, which is like the one that I have the other guys living in, and it's just been all over the place. I was about to close a deal in Phoenix, and I went to go and I was closing the deal, and I made the offer, and then the person representing that house had someone show up literally seconds after I showed up, and supposedly they wrote down and put an earnest money deposit before me. So I feel like I've just been, it hasn't been the best week, so I do apologize. I've been all over the place. But 100%, I have two things that I definitely want to do today. And one, of course, is getting that block. And the second thing is so Danson stops messaging or commenting, I'm going to update my calendar. But yeah, so that's really just it. Eric, you've been struggling with false confirmation with current market conditions. Any advice or personal rules for true confirmation? One of the things, Francisco, is I see a lot of these like false reversals happening during the very early hours, right? Because it's still very difficult to understand the overall direction of what's going up and what's going down. But once you begin, and this is why I like futures so much, but once you begin to give something a little bit more time to understand what is pushing up or what is pushing down, to have a more to have more of a consistent pattern of what's the high points, the low points, the high points, the low points, the high points, and stuff like that, then I feel like you can be better off. So I think that it's not just about giving it more time and waiting for that confirmation, but making sure that there's a continuous pattern that you can kind of go off of that makes sense to identify those low points and high points. So hopefully that can guide you in the right direction. The market has been so inconsistent, so be even that much more selective with where you choose to kind of put your money, right? To look at the whole point of looking at the shorter time frames is to look at shorter time frames for more relevant patterns. That's the whole idea behind that, right? Just to have a little bit of a better understanding of what's pushing up or what's pushing down. So natural gas is still selling off, team. Diaz is ripping it. Diaz is up 10%, 11% on the day. Wow, look at that. That would have been a nice little 11K day for the boys, and of course the girls, right? Super cool. Alrighty, team. Well, this is where I'm at so far for the day, right? So a little bit over 1,700, including the $40 loss. I'm actually up over 1,800 on the day if you remove this. I'm going to try to see if I can get this position for BILZ transferred to the other account that they made me create, so we can kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye on DGAS, seeing if it pulls back and finds a support and continues to uptrend, and or if it begins to pull back and overall correct itself, which then that would be in favor of you guys. So again, be patient, be selective, don't rush the process, enjoy it. And if you guys have any questions, then I'm only one message away on Discord. Appreciate your guys' time, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.